knew that you would ask me to be in service of you at the befall of me, or the befall of people I love. So I never joined in feminine. I'm a womanist. And what does that mean? It means that I'm a black woman. It means that my interests first go to black women. If I have $1 and another black woman doesn't have, she's getting 50 cents of my dollar. If I have food, if I have grain, then a black woman, because I know that if I give a black woman 50 cents, she's going to do whatever she can do to turn that 50 cents into $1, into $10, into whatever she needs to provide for herself and her children. And that would be inclusive of black men, because she's not going to leave black men out, because that ain't what we are. Just because I can stand on my own, just because I can say I don't need a counterpart, just because I can marry outside of the race, doesn't mean that I'm saying, hey, I'm leaving you behind. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that we destroy the relationships, because we are still their daughters. We are still their sisters. We are still their mothers. We're still their lovers. We're still their best friends. We're still their cousins, and we love them. And we're never, ever, 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 ever going to betray them in the sense of leaving them behind. So I've never been a feminist. And the second thing is, Black Lives Matter. I didn't support or not support Black Lives Matter. I support justice. Oh, this other thing was that I was somebody who was in denounce the police or defund the police. I don't believe in defunding to policemen, because I believe in law and I believe in order. I believe in self-governing. Because I know that when I didn't self-govern myself, that I was inviting some sources and agencies and all kinds of things outside of myself to govern me. So number one, I believe in self-governance. Number two, I believe in good policing. I believe in community policing. I believe that people who live in those communities should be police officers. I don't believe that we should have a force of all white officers who live in all rural areas, who don't live in the cities that they police in. Do I believe in that? Absolutely not. Does it happen? Absolutely it does. That's why we have to have policing information. And for the record, I don't believe that all cops are bad. All cops are out here because they live in white skin, because I have met some very, very, very professional, very humane law officers who did their motherfucking jobs, did what they had to do. And they didn't need to be offensive. They didn't need to be violent. They didn't need to be aggressive. They didn't need to project onto you some false sense of insecurity about a God complex. All right, said what I said. So I'm not a defund the policer, but a lot of that got projected towards me. And this whole ideology that if you have a different, we used to live in a country where you could have a difference of politics, but then after Donald Trump, the narrative became, if you're not for us, you're against us. And then this whole attitude of we the people. Who the fuck are you, we the people? Don't speak for me, because I have a voice and I can speak for myself. And we the people sometimes doesn't include all the fucking people. And that's what I had an issue with. And that's what Isis was teaching me about. And she was like, you don't need anybody's permission to believe what you believe. You don't need anybody's permission to do what you do. So, part of this thing with this group was, they like to start with, they use the same tactics that they always have done. I think they have probably like the Willie Lynch handbook of how to keep people enslaved, the pedagogy of oppression. This is the pedagogy of oppression handbook. Intimidation, disenfranchise, smear campaign, intimidation, smear campaign, disenfranchise. I will take your money. I will take everything that supports you. I will take your support system, and I will try to make sure that you're alone and you're afraid. And it's like the spirit of fear is not, it doesn't mean that I think I'm some super badass or whatever. I'm a small natured woman. there's a lot of men that are completely stronger than me. I mean, who are like tiny men who are probably stronger than me and who could do whatever, and women too. But this thing is, why do I need to be afraid of you to exist? What, you didn't make me. And the thing is, this whole ideology of projecting this sense of you need to be afraid, or, I'll kill you. That was the same kind of Seth energy, and the kind of energy that's, projected out in all scriptures, is that if you're not afraid of the almighty ruler, if you're not afraid, then, what's wrong with you? And you must be crazy if you're not afraid. I'm not crazy, but I'm also not afraid, because fear is false evidence appearing real. And the thing is, fear doesn't stop anybody from hurting you. Fear doesn't stop anybody from gang stalking you. Fear doesn't stop anybody from cloning your phone, trying to steal your money, trying to cause delays. People abuse and misuse their power all the time. You being afraid of them is never, ever, ever going to stop that. Never, ever, 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 ever. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm not going to be afraid. Because people are going to do what they're going to do, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And this is the gift of my life. And it's like, why would I live, any time in my life being afraid of other human beings who bleed like I bleed, who poop like I poop, you know what I mean? Who, basically it's like you're a human being, and it's like, and outside of you being a human being, you're also spirit, you're also soul, whatever your faith belief system, and so am I. And it's just like, I'm not going to live my life like that. And that was the power of Isis. Isis was like, I'm going to strategize and do what I need to do to keep what I'm supposed to keep safe and protect it in the way, because nobody outside of me is willing to protect me. For one thing, gang stalking and these particular groups, the intimidation tactics that they use, first of all, they know the law better than the law, because they come from historians of people who created the law. So they already know if they're using cyber tech, if they're weaponizing cyber techs and cyber attacks, they already know that local law enforcements don't have the skills, they don't have the manpower. So if you have a group like Proud Boys or association, a group like that have all of these gamer tech nerds that have been recruited, and they say, listen, we're trying to, because they do a lot of illegal surveillance. They do a lot, because a lot of these people were oath keepers, and a lot of these people used to be in law enforcement, are still in law enforcement, and have these beliefs that are conflicting to the oaths that they signed up for. And being an oath keeper, the oath is that you will stand down and not do your job in order to let them be terrorists. That's the only way you could be. And there were people who signed that oath. There were people who agreed to that. And it is what it is. I didn't even get to the cards yet. So anyway, I pulled all these cards. This was in my 1122 portal, because I went to that portal for the Native Americans, because if you are of any bloodline from America, then you already know that you have Native bloodline within you. So anyway, the first card that I pulled was Earth Mother. Feel love and comforted. This is from the ancestors. I think it's the ancestors, and I can't remember what deck this is, but the next time I come on camera, I will let you guys know. And this candle is the Mother Earth candle, and I got this from Wander Which Way from Cassie, and I will put her, and she also sent me this. This originally was a candle, but it has all the, just because we're in December now, it has all the zodiac's presents, and because that's what it is. So anyway, in your manifestation, remember who you are. Remember your power. Do not be looking for permission. And it's okay to desire your desires. It's okay to think the impossible. Isis went and got her beloved from all over the world and put him back together so that he can live in the underworld and be whole. So that would seem like an impossible task. Whatever the thing is that you want most, I want to have divine justice, and I evoke the spirit of Breonna Taylor. I evoke the spirit of Emmett Till. I invoke the spirit of Edgar Meggers to help me create this, and the spirit of Mother Isis, who helps me along my path to know that justice is mine, and that I don't have to ask anybody's permission to have divine karmic justice. It will manifest itself because the scales balance. Peace and blessings, y'all. Love ya. This is red jasper, by the way, which is a stone that symbolizes Mother Isis. Peace and blessings.